All right, so this is Module 6, and we are working on articles. And let me go to the module place. Yeah, Module 6, I just have to make sure. For this module, you are needing to find, just like you did in the catalog where you found books, now you're going to learn about databases and using the databases to find articles for your research question. So again, we're on the library homepage and we are looking at these quick links. Now last time I was in the catalog and I did homeless. This time I want you to go to databases. Now listen to me carefully. Do not use OneSearch. This is about you using individual databases. This is not about using a OneSearch tool. OneSearch will sometimes give you articles that you won't be able to find later. They might be temporary. We are using databases because those will be permanent and you'll always have access to the articles, okay? So in the databases, it changes it to a quick jump to a database. And when I click on these words here, you can click on the little arrow, the caret, then it gives me a long list of databases. There are a ton, okay? I am not expecting you to know each of these. That would be unreasonable. I'm going to show you a few. In your module, there are videos for several of the top databases that may be used at this university. One of the top ones I always suggest to students is Academic Search Premier, because this one has multiple areas of information it pulls from multiple disciplines, okay? So you might be into sports, you might be into government, you might be into health and nursing, you might be into psychology, education, whatever it is that you're into, it might have some type of information that would apply to your research question. So it's a great database to start with. So I'm going to click on Academic Search Premier. Even if you wanted a different database, this is a great one to go into them, okay? Now notice Academic Search Premier, right here at the top. Next to it, we see the words EBSCOhost. This is not the name of the database. This is the name of the company that makes the database available. The database is Academic Search Premier, okay? So when I ask you what database did you get it from, look to see where you got it. Now, something you need to understand. You can actually choose to look at multiple databases at once. This is really useful because it lets you search a lot of areas to find the resources you need, and you don't have to keep doing the search over and over and over in each one. You can just do it all together. Academic Search Premier, that one has multiple databases. Master File Premier, here on the second column, this one also uses multiple databases, multiple disciplines, not databases, multiple journals and disciplines to give you information. If you're looking at health and you are a nursing student or you're trying to do something dealing with the medical field, you will want to use CINAHL. Okay, CINAHL is the one that is best for the nursing field. If you're doing something dealing with pay and business and dealing with any kind of economy of that nature, you're going to want to do Business Source Complete. Okay? Now I'm going to leave CINAHL on here. I'm going to put business on here. If you're doing something dealing with psychology and you're looking at the reasons behind why somebody chooses an action or how they feel about it, maybe some kind of mental illness, you would go to PsycInfo. Okay? Now I'm not going to do the one above it, Psychology and Behavioral Sciences. We'll leave that off for now. We're just going to do PsycInfo. Maybe you're into music. You need to do Music Index, okay? Let's say that you want to do something with children or families, and you're looking at, anytime somebody talks about children, I want to express that you want to use the education database known as ERIC. That is because children spend all their day in school, and teachers often have to do all kinds of reports about the child. So if there is behavior issues, if there's learning disabilities, if there's something going on, they report it. So ERIC can still be a really useful tool because a lot of teachers are also trying to learn about their students and how to help them and how to get them through and help them learn. So ERIC is a really good resource when you're looking at kids. If you're doing education, it's a really good resource. There's a lot here. If you're into sports, you might choose Sport Discus. If you have a very hot topic you've chosen, maybe you're looking at vaccines and vaccinations, which is a hot topic, you might try Topic Search, okay? There is a lot of databases here. Now, all of these databases are part of the company EBSCOhost. That's why we can search them all together. This library, I'm going to go back to the library homepage really quick. Our databases that we have, there are more than what's in EBSCOhost. Some of these are not part of EBSCOhost. One of them is JSTOR. JSTOR is not part of EBSCOhost, but it is a database. You can search JSTOR, especially if you're doing anything with an English focus, okay? Maybe you're looking at books or anything like that. JSTOR is a great resource for this. So there are other databases, but I'm showing you EBSCOhost databases because you can look at so many at once, okay? So I have chosen all the ones that you saw me click on are the ones I've chosen. If you don't remember, pause this video, go back, look at this again, all right? Okay, so we're gonna click OK. And now I'm gonna type in my search terms, and this time I'm gonna use more terms. I'm gonna say homeless and library or libraries, okay? If you notice, there is options that it comes up with when I started typing more different kinds, because we use different words for the same thing. So you can choose one of these options or not. That's up to you. Then I might say and outcomes, or benefits, or effects, or impact, or effectiveness. This is a really good one. I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to say search. All right. I only have 110 results. Considering how many databases I'm looking at, that's not very many. It's because of the number of terms that I have, but this is very specific, which is a good thing, okay? I would prefer that you find articles you actually have access to, so you need full text. If you'll come under here under Refine Results, if you scroll down here, you'll see under Limit to Full Text. Let's click on that. Now I only have 67, and I can see there is PDF full text, and this one has a linked full text. This one has both HTML and PDF. When you have this option, I suggest using PDF because it looks like it does from the journal. But you can use HTML, it's just that it only gives you the words, it doesn't give you all the formatting. Okay, so there are a lot of options here. This one is a little bit different. Here it says the title of the article, but we don't see a linked full text. And underneath in the notes it says Delta State University currently does not hold. That means this one actually has to be interlibrary loaned. You would not be able to use this because you do not have access. You can interlibrary loan your articles. So if you find an article that you don't have access to and you don't want to do full text, you can interlibrary loan it, okay? Sometimes it will say Delta State University currently holds this title. That means the article is physically here in the library upstairs, and you would have to make a copy of it. So if you are not in range to come to the library to do that, you would have to talk to us to see about us getting it sent to you, okay? If I didn't do full text, I could go to it, let's say I liked this article, and it said request this item through interlibrary loan. Well, that's fine. I can click on it, and I can put in my information, put in your name, your status if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, any of that, your address, especially your email address and your phone number, because the email is how you'll get it. And then it puts in all of the article's information for you. And so then once they find that article, they will get it sent to you, okay, in your email as a PDF. So you can do this as well, and then you click submit at the bottom, okay? That is an option. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to full text just for the purposes of our search. And let's say family and community engagement. Let me look at this one. And let's say I like it. I see that it's from the Young Adult Library Services Journal. That's the name of the journal. It tells me when it was published, 2018. It gives me the volume number, the issue number, and the page range, okay? 18 to 24. I do not need to know how many pages are part of the journal. I don't need that information for the assignment, okay? It tells me the authors, there's only one. If I come down, I don't know which database this came from, because remember, we've got multiple databases we're looking at. When you have multiple databases, come down to where it says database, and it'll tell you which one this one came from. This one came from Academic Search Premier. If you don't have multiple databases, it'll be the database that you chose. If you chose Academic Search Premier and nothing else, then the database you need to tell me is Academic Search Premier. Remember, there is a cite button on the right. Come on now, if it'll work for me. Why is that not? Okay, let's try opening the article first. You don't normally have to do that, but this thing is going very, very slowly. I'm not sure why. Okay, well, what we're going to do, remember, if you're using the cite button, they do not do it correctly. You have to check to make sure the citation is correct, and you have to use APA. When you click on PDF full text, that's supposed to bring up the article. Now, it's moving slowly today, but normally you would see the full article and you would be able to read it. Yes, obviously it is not available. I don't know what was going on with that, so we're going to just close this. And I'm going to close this one. I'm going to start again. We're going to try this one more time. I remember all the databases that we chose. I'm going to click those very quickly. And get us back on track here so that you can see what it is that I'm looking at. Topics, sport. Remember, there are also race relations abstracts, so if you're doing anything that has to do with maybe different races or different ethnicities, that might be useful. They also have one that is a teacher reference. They have one that is vocation and career, lots of different stuff. There's even one that's a gender studies database. So all of this stuff is good for you. Okay, click OK. We're going to put back in homeless. And libraries. It's okay if I do the words backwards. That's not going to be a problem. Search. All right, and we're going to do full text. And I believe it was this one right here, family and community engagement. And we're going to do PDF full text. There we go. All right, whatever was going on. This, as you can see, is all formatted. It's showing it to me as if I was actually looking at the journal itself. And you could read this. That way you'll be able to give me a summary later, because you will have to give a summary later, not in this assignment, but in a later assignment. So don't lose what you've done. All right. It gives you the references, and then it gives you features and information. This last page you don't have to worry about. So there's a lot here. If you want to go back after looking at the page, you can download the PDF. You can refine your results. You've got a printer here. You can email it to yourself. You still have the cite button. And then I can go back to the detailed record to get back to this information. And then if I want to go back to my result list, I click on result list. Okay? You don't want to use the back button because sometimes that'll take you out of something that you didn't intend to go out of. Guys, this is a lot of information. I'm well aware of that. But this is to help you to understand how to do a search, how to find information. If it doesn't work, change your words. You know, change it up. Use a different one. That's why we did that search strategy assignment. If you are in, let's choose our databases. If you're using one database, okay, Academic Search Premier, and you do a search, you may not find as much, 27, and then if I did full text, I only have 16, so I may find it, I may not. I might go to subject terms and choose a term and say, well, what should I use? Subject terms gives me an actual specific term that's been designated by a librarian or by the author for what should be used in place of that idea. So instead of depression, they might say, instead of sadness, they might say use depression. Instead of bipolar disorder, they might say manic depressive disorder. You never know. There are multiple things that you might use for something, and this helps you to know what specific word. If I'm just giving my search term, I choose a word. Well, this is a keyword. This is a word that I have chosen, but it's a key within the article that I'm hoping to find. I'm not changing any of these. If you decide to do more, talk to me and we can definitely help you do more in your search. There's always more you can do, but what I'm trying to show you right now is to give you the basics so that you'll be able to do your assignment. The assignment asks you to find 2 articles. You're going to give me the information for those articles, and then you're going to include the citations, okay? And remember, you have to fix the citations. Don't give me a citation that's all messed up and it's the exact same thing from the cite button without fixing it. If they capitalize stuff incorrectly, you need to fix the capitals. If they italicize something that's not supposed to be, or they forgot to italicize something, you've got to fix it, okay? Check the citation, all right? Okay, remember to look back at your feedback when you finish this so that you can fix anything that you might have missed. Good luck, everyone, and I will see you next week.